Good day, sir. I am Disrael Bimihos. I am going to report about my final activity. What is the purpose of ISO in an institution? The International Organization for Standardization, or ISO, is a global organization that works to provide standardization across an array of products and companies. Its main goal is to facilitate trade, but its focus is on process improvement, safety, and quality in several areas. So, the purpose of ISO in an institution is to process improvement. This improvement may seen in an institution by inspecting the institution. For example, in our school, the ISO inspect if there is improvement in our school, especially in our equipment or other materials that used to teach the student and make them learn easily and effectively. Next is for process of safety. Yes, it is the most important goal of the ISO in an institution. For me, safety is the best practice, or safety first. The ISO always inspect for the safety of the workers, or for example in the students in our school. They always matter the safety of the students. They they checked the laboratories if it is safety for the students while doing their assignments in the laboratories. And the next is the quality. They are not looking for the quantity, they are looking for the quality of the products being produced from an institution. The next question is, how important is ISO in an institution? For me, ISO is important for an institution because it develops standards to ensure the quality, safety, and efficient of products, services, and system. So my first example here is based on our school. The first is for the quality. As I said earlier, they are looking for the quality, not of the quantity. For the example of the quality is the qualities of students, the qualities of graduates from our school. The ISO always looking for that. And the next is safety. As I said or explained earlier, safety first. Safety is the most important thing, and the efficient of products. This is likely similar to the quality, the efficient products, the services, and the systems which is being governed by the high officers of an institution. The next question is, what is the purpose of having an occupational health and safety standards for seafarers? To promote health and safety protection and prevention of accidents, injuries, diseases, or death occurring in a course of employment of seafarers on board ship through compliance with mandatory rules and regulation for standards for marine sector. So the purpose of occupational health and safety standard for seafarers is to promote health and safety protection for the seafarers, to prevent accident, injuries, diseases, and death. For example, this picture, look at this picture. A woman examining her work on a lathe machine. Her eyes are not protected. The practice would not be permitted in most industrialized countries that adhere to occupational health safety standards for workers. So this kind of practice is not allowed in occupational health and safety protocol. To the wrong of this woman is she's not wearing protective eyeglass to protect her eyes while working. So that is the that that is the purpose of occupational health and safety standard for seafarers, to protect or to prevent injuries. So what I look in this example is he is prone to injuries for her eyes. My next example is when operating the welding machine and didn't wear a welding gloves. So when you are not wearing welding gloves, you are prone into an accident. Your hand will be burned because welding welding is producing heat, right? When you are not wearing gloves, your hand may be burned from that heat. The next is standard of training certificates and watch keeping. What are the different functions of and competencies needed to become an officer in charge in marine engineering watch? So I prefer to explain the marine engineering watch because I am a BSMARE student. So the functions. The officer in charge for the engineering watch is the chief engineer officer's representative and is primarily responsible at all times for the safe and efficient operation and keep of machinery affecting the safety of the ship, and is responsible for inspection, operation, and testing. So the function of the duty of the engineering watch is to inspect. For example, he will inspect the temperature of a boiler and its voltage, the temperature, the voltage, and the pressure being produced by the boiler. For the next function is his function is for operation. So in operation or in operating the machines on board, the engineering watch. One of his duties is for operation. Well, for example, operating the main engine, the boiler, and the other machineries found on board. And the last is testing. So when there are some new machineries that that will that are new or not being tested from the company, the duties of the one of the duties of the engineering watch officer is to test that machine. Example, air compressor. So he will first test the air compressor before using it properly on board. Competencies. An officer must acquire the knowledge of understanding, operating, and maintaining the latest technology and equipment used on modern ship. So, in competencies, if you are engineering watch duties, make sure that you have these competencies, the knowledge of understanding the new equipments, especially the latest equipments or the modern technology being used on board, because nowadays our our technology is being innovate. So to make your duties effective, make sure that you have this competency, understanding the operation and maintaining the latest technology. The next is it must have the mental strength. So yes, precisely the mental health or mental strength. You have this mental mental strength to understand or to make your work effectively, to understand what is happening to that machine, the operation of that machine, and the resolute ambition. So resolute ambition means showing a lot of determination. So if you have this determination to do your job, you can do it effectively, or you can do your best if you have this determination. The next is the ability to work with a team of others. So this is the most important skill or competencies being acquired by an officer, because teamwork is the most important when doing a job on board, because no man is an island. You can do your work with your own, because you are not a robot. And I have additional for my report. For those who are aspiring to become an officer, there are some tips how to become an officer. So breadth of experience. So experience is, make sure that you have a lot of experience, you have the evidence of success, and the leadership experience, because an officer is a great leader. So that's would be all, sir. Thank you for viewing my report. Stay safe always, and thank you.